Hello everyone. This is a lesson on quadratic formula. The quadratic formula, this word quadratic is telling us that you have a quadratic equation. So the formula is x is equals to, it's a formula. If you complete the square, you can derive the formula, but it's not required in your exam to be able to derive the formula. You just need to memorize. If you are a grade 11, you need to memorize because you don't get the formula sheet. If you are a grade 12, it's in your formula sheet, but you would have memorized it in grade 11. So the formula is minus b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So what is a, what is b, what is c? A is a coefficient of x squared. What do I mean by that? Is that number that goes with x squared. When you get your formula, that number that goes with x squared is a. The number that goes with x, it's b. And then the constant, it will be c. When you are using your quadratic formula, you have to put it in standard form. When we say standard form, we mean you must have x squared, you must have x, and you must have a constant, and then equals to 0. You must not have any number. You always have to have it in this form. It must be equal to 0. We're going to look at an example of how to use a quadratic formula. And then I'm going to factorize it first to convince you that the quadratic formula is correct. With our example, we have x squared minus 6x plus 5 is equals to 0. When you factorize, we're going to have two brackets equals to 0. And then we're going to have x and x. Now, because this is positive, we're going to have the same signs. And the signs will be the same as the middle term. So they'll both be negative. Factors of 5, that will add up to 6 is 5 and 1. Right, and then your x is equals to 5 or your x is equals to 1. So now we're going to use the quadratic formula using the same quadratic equation so that you can see that you'll get the same answers. Let's do that. Formula, you have to write the formula first. X is equals to minus b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. X is equals to minus, what is my b? My b is that number that goes with x, so it is minus 6. So it's minus, you can go minus 6 or you can make a bracket, plus minus square root of minus 6 squared, minus 6, put brackets around, squared, minus 4. My a is 1 and my c is 5. Everything divided by 2, my a is 1. Right, the important part here, I want to show you how you punch it in your calculator. Right, you're gonna have a fraction button and then it's minus 6, which is plus 6. Then you'll choose one of the plus or minus. We'll choose plus and then square root and then open bracket minus 6 close bracket squared minus 4 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 5 bracket, you remember it means multiply. Multiply 2 times 1 and then you press your equals to, then that answer that you get is x is equals to 5. Then you go or the other one, x is equals to, then you go back with your calculator, with your arrow, go back to where you got a plus. You delete, you write a minus, then you write equals to, then the other x is 1. So do you see these answers are exactly the same? Whether you factorize or you use the quadratic formula, you'll get the same answer. Okay, let's make a little bit complicated example. Okay, now with our example 2, our quadratic formula, 2x squared minus 5x minus 8. And then we're asked to factorize. So you're going to write your quadratic formula. X is equals to minus b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Then your b, the number that goes with x, is 5. the formula comes with minus, so it's minus 5, it will be plus 5. Plus minus square root of minus 5 squared minus 4 comes with the formula. My A is 2. My C is minus 8 over 2. My A is 2. Okay, so let's use our calculator. Right, we go fraction 5 plus square root, open bracket, minus 5 squared. When you don't open the bracket, your answer will be wrong. The negative won't be squared. Minus 4 times 2 times minus 8 over 2 times 2 is 4. And then your answer, x is equals to, now when they in an exam they say round off to 2 decimal place, you can't write it with a SAT, you have to write it as a decimal. So here the SD, you change a SAT to a decimal. That's what the SD is for. Press that button and then it should change it for you to the decimal. So it depends. Usually on your question paper they'll say round off to 2 decimal place. So when it's 2 decimal place, you're going to look at the third number. The third number is 8 in this question. So 8 is bigger than 5. You're going to round up the 0 to a 1. So your answer is 3,61. Or x is equals to, take your arrow, go back, up to the plus, delete the plus, write a negative, equals to, then you get SD again, and then your x. Now let's round off this one, it's 8, so it's negative 1, 1, 1. So these are your answers. You must also be careful when you are rounding off. So when you look at this question, do you see you don't have integers as your answer? You actually have irrational numbers. So that's why quadratic formula is important. You cannot factorize this. If you are trying to factorize by using brackets like we did in grade 9 and 10, you will not be able to. That's why you are taught a quadratic formula in grade 10, in grade 11, and that's why you apply it also in grade 12. This is the end of our lesson. Thank you for watching.